Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Good
Today,
morning.
19th, which happens to be my mom's 89th birthday this morning. I'm very excited. I haven't gotten to say happy birthday to her yet. So that's right on the list of all the things to do. Grateful to her uh, for making the choice to have me. Uh, that was quite the decision and not decision. I think there was a not decision probably in there first and then later decision. So thank you, Mom, and love you. So today, of all things, on a mother's birthday, we are going to be talking about one of the 10 recollections of the Buddha. We decided to stay on this till we go to our book, which I'll be talking about today also, and seeing if someone wants me to get a copy. I'm going to try to get some used like we did last time. So we'll see how we do. I don't know what's possible, but we're going to check it out. So uh, the 10 recollections include, and I have a list here because I can never remember them all. One of them, and I'm skipping it today, and then I'll tell you why, is the recollection of the divas. Um, the diva realm or the God realm is one that I think most of us have the privilege in this lifetime, no matter our circumstance of being in. Um, most of us are eating, most of us have shelter, most of us have love, most of us have health care, even when we don't feel like we have health. And so we're very consistently, very likely, most of us in the diva realm. I don't want to talk about the diva realm today. I haven't really all week, and I looked at that. What was my aversion? Maybe my resistance. And I thought it's better to talk about death first, honestly, because once we talk about death, then whatever else we have, we recognize without all this attachment, right? With all this, well, I've got this going, and I've got this, and I got the great house, and I live in the great neighborhood, and I'm still not happy. It's still not working. And the truth is, that's exactly correct. The diva realm does not in any way guarantee happiness. In fact, by its nature, it says this will be the cause of suffering. Now, that's pretty interesting. All that we have, all that we accumulate, all the titles, all the initials at the end, all of the flowers in the garden, ultimately, with any clinging, will be a primary cause of suffering. And so, then, as a therapist, the reason we're going to also focus on death and impermanence today, as a therapist, one of the jokes is, do you want this client? They live in Rancho. Do you want this client? They live in Rancho, which means there's nothing you're going to be able to do to help this person resolve the why am I so unhappy? I have so much. And that this will become an ultimately a cycle of samsara is all. Because it doesn't matter how many times a week it doesn't matter how many Kentucky Derby horses you're training. It doesn't matter which golf club you're in. All of this ultimately will be lost. Okay. And so then why did I choose the 10th, one of the 10 recollections being Maranasati, Marana, Maran, Asati, or the recollection of death? Well, it says, and I'll read one of the quotes from the Buddha, of all the practices, the practice of reflecting on death is the most supreme. That's quite a statement, Isn't it? That's quite a statement. The practice of reflecting on impermanence and the reality of death is the most supreme. Why would you think so?
I think it would bring appreciation.
Libby says, I think it would bring appreciation. Yes. It would cultivate gratitude. It will cultivate liberation from attachment to, I don't got that. You just got that cleaned up. We just cleaned up the diva realm right there. I don't got that, or I got that, and I'm still miserable. Well, we don't worry about that because we already knew that wasn't going to contribute to our liberation, our ease, or our happiness. And so Maranasati, the recollection on impermanence and death, is understood to be the practice that is most likely to cultivate ease, liberation, non-attachment, non-reactivity, non-identification, right? I can't even get hooked into this body. Why? I already know it's not permanent. I can't get attached to this hair. Why? I know it's going to fall out. I can't get it. Why? Well, and then the teachings say, well, then we have something called samvega, or an urgency to practice, to put ourselves in right order with the right priorities. We aren't just trying to figure out how to get the new Amazon thing. We're not looking to get the latest Netflix video. We're not, doesn't mean we can't enjoy them. It means we actually recognize this will be only a brief moment in time, that there will be no real. Yes, Carrie says it's why the people of Bhutan call to mind impermanence and death at least 5 times a day. As I understand it, I'm going to go see what she exactly said here. Yeah, they practice their whole lives with death. We avoid death our whole lives, right? Would you say our culture avoids the reality of death? And in fact, really,
Definitely.
what, Carrie?
Definitely.
Definitely. If you get it right, you live forever. There's a myth. If you get it right, you can live forever. If you get the right doctor, right, Jim? If you've got the right hospital, if you got the right medicine, if you get the right, you go on forever. Now, I happen to have an 80-year-old mom, as I said, happy birthday again, Mom, who absolutely feels certain that she is going to just keep living, and that there will be a problem, or something will have broken, or it will be negligence if she doesn't. The opposite of the Bhutanese, who really understand this is a part of living, this is a part of being alive, is that we will transition. And in fact, not only as we have done our work in the Bardos, not only at the time of death, we are transitioning every breath. And then we smile, right? Because the Diana who sat here is not this one, right? It's not true. It's ever continuous change. And so we speak to these larger endings, but it's not true. There is death every moment, as we understand in this teaching. And so how we cultivate that understanding and that capacity so that we can be, here's the words, most liberated, most non-attached, most joyful, most easeful. We only have now. There is only this. And then you don't have to worry, because you may not even make it to the next thing. That may not even be in our, as death is uncertain. The time of death is uncertain, and death itself, of course, is certain. So we get this idea. I'm going to check just to make sure I don't miss another thing in chat, and then I'll say some more. Navigating through life with all the paths, adventures. Yeah, it keeps you in the present, because we are not guaranteed, as the teachings say, any other moment. So then why worry, says Shantideva. Why worry about tomorrow? It would be a complete waste of time, because you are not guaranteed tomorrow. in any way. So why not wait till you're there and then say, what do I want to do with this now that I'm here and have all my faculty in front of me? So liberation from suffering, the number one motivation for this Maranasati practice, the cultivation of the Eightfold Path. What it says there is that when you realize nothing else is going to free you, or nothing else is really going to matter towards happiness, ease, well-being, you start to direct yourself intentionally and well. That's that samvega, with some amount of urgency towards the Eightfold Path. You say, this is what is ultimately going to get me in this moment the greatest ease and the greatest love. Kindness, generosity, compassion, patience, living the virtues, recognizing that there is nothing really wrong with this life. You just don't like its truth. And so we call it purpose to mind. And the third characteristic, the intention or motivation of Maranasati practice, is awakening in the present moment only. That we recognize even when awakened, we have to do it again. And then we have to do it again. And that it's not got it, which is an attachment factor, has nothing to do with the path, and then get lazy and get sloppy. And don't bring diligence, ardency, and zeal. These are the words used, right? Janine, if you're looking at the suttas, you're going to see that kind of language, aren't you, pretty often? Ardency, zeal, diligence. You get a little lazy because you go, well, I got tomorrow. I got later today. I got, why rush it? Because there's always, and the Buddha says, oops, one of the greatest delusions. Oops, because this is not the truth. So the deep reflection on impermanence, generating that urgency, developing a certain courage. I don't know if fearlessness is the right word there. Courage to turn towards the truth with consistency, and then actually choosing to reflect on it is understood to be skillful. And as the Buddha said, with the most supreme. The third fruit of the practice, I think, is a certain kind of lightheadedness, you might say, right? I don't know another word. Letting go. It's a little dangerous, but I don't know if I totally mean letting go, but you get this idea. I hold everything with a little more tenderness, right? The preciousness of it is so clear. And I also hold it a little more lightly because I know there's nothing solid or permanent or fixed to grab onto. And so everything a little more tender, everything a little more precious, a little more light-handed, I think is what I actually mean. And here's the scriptural root and the quote. And I know some of you are interested in this. The Buddha said, of all the footprints, that of the elephant is supreme. Similarly, remember, he always speaks in metaphor. Of all mindfulness meditations, mindfulness of death is supreme. And that's in the Anagatara 8. For people who are not monastics, then what would be the point of the practice? Libby said it, to awaken gratitude, appreciation for each moment we have, to cultivate compassion then for everyone else, right? Who's going to be in that exact spot just like me. And that includes all the politicians we don't like, and all the people we think did the wrong to us, and all those who have caused us sorrow or injury or pain. The truth is, they too will confront this essential loss of all things that we cherish and this human life as well. And because we know the tenderness of it for ourselves, don't we? We can feel it then also for others with compassion. I'm going to stop here, see if we're all understanding what I'm saying about this before I go on. Are there any questions about this so far? That makes sense? Okay. Let me check chat. We're good there. So we're going to practice in a minute. There are a couple practices I wanted to review for just a moment then. One of them is a practice we do somewhat regularly, probably not enough, and that is the 5 recollections practice. Does anybody remember the 5 recollections? I know for sure, Carrie. Libby says, I know that one of them is you will lose everything. Nothing can be sustained, held,
We
maintained.
just did it on Saturday with Jim.
Say it again, Carrie.
We just did it on Saturday with Jim.
You did it on Saturday with Jim. How perfect was that? I will age. This body is of the nature to age. This body is of the nature to become ill. This life cannot be held or kept or prized. All the things I love and all the beings I love will be lost. And the 5th is its resolution. Was anybody there on Saturday? Did you remember that 5th recollection? Thankful for this 5th recollection. Anybody remember it, Janine?
My actions are my closest companions.
Yes. I am heir to my actions, born of my actions. My actions are the only ground upon which I stand. I will die with these as my only contribution. Right? I will die. This is it. This is what I'm leaving. The love I lived and didn't. Right? This is going to be the whole of the point. When I die, how I die, what day I die, what I die of, all uncertain. The truth of death, though, completely certain. And so that 5 recollection practice is understood to be essential. And then there's the what they call the graveyard. Carrie, do you remember other words? There's a word for that. Charnel. Charnel. Thank you. Charnel ground practice where you literally, we're not doing it today, so don't worry, where you literally talk about the body dissolving. And you imagine this body, the skin rotting off, the pustules forming, the bone turning to dust, right? We have spent a lot of time in our early practice years on those practices. And the charnel ground or cemetery, more Western practice, would also be one. We're not doing either of those today, but there is then a few others that I think are worthy of our consideration. One of them is the practice we're going to do today, which is considered a reflection practice. And the reflection, I'm going to look for it so I can read it to you here. And then I'm going to be reciting it a little bit throughout the practice today. There are many possibilities of death: by snake, by accident, by illness, by the body's own decline. Therefore, practice as if your head were on fire. I love that. I say that a lot, don't I? Your hair's on fire. The Buddha actually said your head is on fire, meaning you're probably not getting out of this. You're probably not getting out of this. So practice as if your head is on fire is really the point of that sutta, and I with a deep appreciation. And then the recitation, I'm going to say it here and then we're going to sit. They are these: the recollection of impermanence. All that is born will die. All that is gathered will disperse. All that is built will collapse. That's directly from the sutta. Gently then bring the mind to all that is subject to birth and death. Imagine the body lying still, breathing, returning to the earth with each out breath. We're going to be doing this part of the practice. This body is not mine. It belongs to nature, subject to aging, sickness, and death. Feel the truth of impermanence. Life is fragile and precious. And the fourth, since death is certain and time uncertain, what is truly important? And then we're going to reflect on that. Okay. Any questions about those reflections? I think we get them. I feel like we've got a good handle on that. Any other? Yep, I think we're good. So let's get ready to sit. Finding a comfortable posture. Letting the mind begin to settle into the body. Softening the body. So though we hold it with nobility, with dignity, we also soften around the skeleton. And make sure you recognize not only that you are touching the earth, but that the earth is your true home. You have come from the earth, possessing all of its identical elements, and we will return to the earth, our true mother. And in the silence, then, we strike the bell. And you can't hold on even to the sound. The sound of the bell as well, reminders of the reality of birth and death. We're just going to allow the mind and body to settle. Resting the mind, particularly in the out-breath. Each moment, a birth and a death. At the end of the out-breath, that boundless, vast, open space that is your own true nature. rest here. The body falls away. Each breath. And rather than be captured by the continuous reality, the samsaric cycle of birth and death, even in breath awareness practice, we just stay in the in-breath and the out-breath sufficiently to see its true nature. It cannot be kept. It is not permanent. It is not fixed. It is not mine. And so as we allow breath awareness practice here for several moments, reflecting on those essential truths. See if you can allow the full release with each out breath. This is not my body. This is not my identity. This is not me or mine. Each breath arising and passing. Each moment from birth to death. See if you notice any sense object that is not subject to the same conditions. Sounds appearing and disappearing. Back to silence. And so we don't hold to the nature of sound. We rest in the silence itself. Letting sound simply come and go. Death is certain. The time of death is uncertain. Practice as if your head is on fire. Letting the body in its apparent solidness fall away into that vast open space. Letting be and then letting go. With each out breath, nothing to hold on to. And even in the plethora of thoughts, there is stillness. The mind that knows the thought is not moving. This is called entering the deathless. No more coming and going. We rest in the stillness. In the silence. And in the vast open space. Recognizing who we really are. All that is built will collapse. All that is loved will leave or die. All things subject to impermanence. So we don't hang on. We rest. This body is not me or mine. it is subject to aging, illness, and death. It belongs to the earth. Our true home. And since death is certain, and the time of death is uncertain, where do you place the mind now? In loving kindness, in compassion, in shared joy, and in equanimity. So everywhere we turn, we see the reality of impermanence and of death. And because we also are resting in the deathless, we remember that this is not me or mine or anything to cling to at all. And that the clinging itself is the cause of suffering. And in our last few moments, then, we dedicate our practice with radiant compassion. As I too will die, may I live then wisely. May all beings who share this same fate, may they be free from fear. and may they find peace. As we will all die, may we choose to live this precious moment wisely, placing the mind in the vast, open, and boundless heart, free from greed, hatred, and ignorance. Resting then in the deathless. May I find peace. May you find peace. May we find peace. May all beings have peace. May we bow to that tender, precious, and beautiful. I heard that word from Adrian the other day around the reality of aging. And it's true. So I'm going to check in, see what was your experience with this practice, particularly, and whether you came away with this, oh my God, this is worse, terrible, more morbid, more horrible, or whether you were able to come away with some felt sense of a little less grasping, a little less clinging, a little less grip, a little less, I got to hang on, I got to keep it going, I got to, and so I'd love to hear from you around that recollection.
I feel like I want to print these out and look at them every day.
I will send it to you. I have it on a little PDF. It is a wise practice. It is wise and skillful to do so. It just, remember that light-handedness? It invites a little light-handedness, doesn't? You see everything and it's coming and going. And so you begin to get a sense, don't you, Janine, of the futility of all that grip?
I do. And it's so basic, it's so intrinsic. You know it's true. And yet I'm shaking my head like, how do I forget and how do I get all caught up? But it's just the grasping. And I come back to this thing. I mean, it really hit home for me when you said, you know, we want peace, but we want peace for all beings because until everyone's happy, no one will be happy.
Is for sure, isn't it? And the truth is, we are all going to confront the same sufferings. No one is getting out of it. It
And
doesn't
we
matter if
are.
you live in Rancho. Remember my joke from earlier? It doesn't matter if you're the president of Ethiopia or Ukraine or France. It doesn't matter. We are subject, all of us, to the same essential realities. And then we get all caught up in the fluffy stuff, don't we? How come I don't have that new Land Rover? How come I don't get to go to the Maldives? How come, uh, as if this would then contribute to our happiness. And it is also true that if you are already happy, all of those things, like all things, then are also going to contribute to your happiness, aren't they?
Mhm.
Then it is true. Traveling when you're already open, receptive, curious, interested, and you go with no grasping, right? This is the nature of all good travelers. They go, we don't know how it's going to go. However, it's going to go, I'm going to try to be interested, open, curious, and really allow the experience to unfold rather than then I got to see the palace, and then I got to go to the park, and then I got to, which always ends up being a painful it always ends up being a painful practice, process, and way of being. And you see those people in the airport going, I got to get on the plane because I got to get on the plane by blank time. I got to get off the plane. I got to get off the plane by blank time, who have lost then the reality that we're getting on the plane with no certainty of getting off. It's really true. We're in the garden with no certainty of getting any fruit. We're in this life with a guarantee of not getting out alive. Right, it's all true. And however we remind, remember, repeat, recite, and say it, I think it is an important practice. Janine, I agree with you. Uh, Carrie had we've looked at the We Croak app. We Croak is a little app that offers a, a I think it's 99 cents, maybe this app. It offers a quote every day on impermanence, on no grasping self, on and it's there. It's actually quite lovely, and it's available at the App Store. We Croak, and its very first statement is the Bhutanese are the happiest people alive because they reflect on death at least 5 times a day. Now remember, I see impermanence and death as the same thing. Right? If you could look at everything, understanding that this is it, this beautiful tomato, this rose bloom, the red of this hibiscus, the yawn of the little man, understanding it's nothing to keep, everything becomes beautiful. Then, isn't it? It all becomes quite beautiful. Then, so thank you for that. I will send that out, Janine, because I have it right here in a little PDF that I did for ease.
I think it's rather interesting, Diana, that you know, we know about impermanence, and impermanence is everything in the universe, and yet somehow, in our mind, we think that it doesn't apply to us. Wait a minute.
Solid self.
That's right. This solid self, it can't die.
It can't die. The I in it
And the
can.
I is what, is this false self is what dies. That's what dies.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
when I started this whole process of going through cancer and all that, and, really touched into the not wanting it was where it really hit me. And then the fear, and then deep down. And I've had some really good insight meditations with that, where I've really gotten in touch with the fear. And that's been very helpful. And so I probably think about dying at least 2 or 3 times a day, maybe more. It's just kind of part of my daily experience. I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
If you give me just a minute, I wanted to read something from Stephen Levine that is from his book Who Dies, which I think is really, really very good. Our fear of death is directly equatable to our fear of life. And I get that, because if we're constantly in the state of not wanting a fear, how can we be really alive and right in the moment?
That's right.
Yeah. When we think of dying, we think of losing something called me. We wish to protect this thing at all costs, though we have very little direct experience of what this I refers to, other than as some idea which seems constantly to be changing, which has no substance whatsoever in a way. It's just, all of the past experiences, all of the conditioning and stuff has come up with this process that somehow I think is who I am, which I'm not.
Right.
Not that.
Not that.
Not
And that's one of the practices, Greg,
that.
isn't it? It actually is not that. That we see whatever it is we think is us, the thought, the sensation, the sense door, the identity, and there is a whole contemplation that is simply not that, or I am not that, because it is true, and it is consistent with the death practices. I am not this body. I am not these hairs. I am not this skin. I am not these cells. I am that, it says then, which holds it all, but belongs to none. right? Nobody gets to keep it. And when I remember that, which I do occasionally, and maybe even a little more than I used to, everything becomes more tender, more precious, and there is less grasping because it is the impossibility of it is to grasp and think we can keep any of it. And so then we simply rest in joy. Like how beautiful the cake and the flower and the friend and the moment together. And so we could all practice, I think, in that way. Nothing to keep, nothing to hold, just a fleeting, right? That's the whole of that quote we have recited. A phantom, a dream, a wish, a dewdrop, a candle flicker, right? All of it is just this. And then we smile because we got a glimpse of it. This is how I feel whenever I see a shooting star, right? You look up and see that cry and you go, I got it. I got it. I was alive in this moment for it. And I think that's actually our job every moment. And that is that practice. It's a word I don't say a lot, but samvega, this sort of urgency for awakening, urgency for the discipline of awakening. Yes, Dennis, did you say something? Oh, or was Adrian, was that you?
No,
Okay. I heard somebody say something. Dennis, was it you? Sounded like a man's voice. Could have just come through somehow. But do we get this idea? And what would it mean if we were saying it over and over? The repetition. The beauty of this moment. Ungraspable. Ungraspable. Just here it is, there it goes. And there is no one who I've been with who is aged, and I have some family who have been 101 and almost 107, and whether you're 80 or who were very clear that that was it, that it was, a fleeting moment, the whole of the life that they lived. A fleeting moment was how they both understood it, both my great grandmother and my grandfather, and were in some really pretty big joy. I don't know if anybody remembers, but my grandfather used to say, wow, to everything. Those were his kind of last year. Wow. Like, wow, the phone. Wow, the texts. Wow. That you could reach your great grandchildren at recess. You couldn't get over the reality. Wow. And if we could say that to everything, including the things we didn't like, also fleeting, right? Not just the good news, but even the difficulty is also fleeting. It is us then who carries it into the next moment, isn't it? It's us. I have Kelly coming on. I'm going to say hi to her, see if there's any more for us to say here. We get this idea so completely, don't we? Good morning, Kelly. Good to see you. I will send the notes because I think those phrases could be useful for us. And those reflections, I think, could be of benefit. Let's see if we can't be calling this to mind this week. We're going to be doing a practice on Saturday that will be called Touching the Earth practice. And it really, there is a part of that practice as well, where we die into the earth. We let the earth itself hold us. No more me gripping, grabbing, constructing, scaffolding a self at all. And that will be a part of it as well, which is why I thought this practice today could be useful. Greg, I think I'm on this Thursday, not you. Is that right?
No, I'm here Thursday.
Is it the following Thursday? You gave me a date and I must have done it incorrectly. which is
It's
right.
actually next month.
I got it on
Um,
the wrong month. That's how off I was.
let's see here. Now, wait a minute. No, this Thursday,
You're here, good.
you're correct. You're correct. I
Oh,
am.
I am.
Yeah, I forgot. I have
Okay.
a medical procedure. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The
Well, I
following
don't
month.
blame you for wanting to forget that. Sorry to
It's not
say.
me.
Sorry to say, Greg. I'd rather be on Zoom than in the procedure. Like we all would. So it is okay. I had that down. I just wanted to check. I'm really glad. We will be reviewing this practice again, just for those who are interested in Thursday. And then Saturday, I would ask that everybody bring a yoga mat because we will be doing the touch the earth practice, and I will be sending that reminder out as well. As well as I will be sending these notes because I think those phrases would be useful.
We'll be doing Philabelly this Thursday night
Oh,
too.
thank you, Greg. Thursday evening, starting a little before 6, is our attempted arrival time. We will be doing Philabelly. We have all the food items uh, available. So if you're choosing to come, we'd love to have you. And it will be for support, assistance, zero waste management, if you're interested in that, and socializing, offering goodwill and friendship to our friends. So I don't see anything else, Greg. Anything else while we've got a minute coming up?
Nope. Everything good.
I don't think we have retreat. Since I got a minute, I'll say retreat will be starting on Monday, September 29th. That's 3 days of silent retreat, still in a group if you choose it, and at Quest Haven. And then on Thursday, we'll start Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be a guided portion of our practice. The commuter rate is $60 a day. I think it's still 60. I hope. I think so. From 9 to about 5. And you can choose to come for one day or all 3. And if you're choosing to be in residence, which we love because it's a whole different retreat experience, you have to stay 2 nights. There is not a 1-night offering through Quest Haven any longer. It would be a 2-night minimum and 3-day practice if you choose. There'll be something in the newsletter that comes out this week in addition to Greg's mindful moment that he has written. So we'll look forward to all that. Sorry, is everybody hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Good to see you, Dennis. Sorry.
Yeah, it's perfect, Diana.
Okay, so it isn't that. Thank you, Adrian. Dennis was claiming that it was something about his speaker, so we're going to wave there at you, Dennis. All right, everyone, let's do our final dedication. Softening the body. Taking a deep breath. And then letting it go. Seeing if we can be fully present to this body, this breath, and this moment. The breath, the body, the sounds, the thoughts, the emotions, all arising and passing. But this heart of bodhicitta, this boundless open, empty, and vast heart is known as the deathless. And this is its prayer. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place in the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. May I have peace. May you have peace. May we have peace. And may all beings find peace. And may this practice today contribute, and may it continue. So be it. And blessings, blessings to you all. Thank you for your practice and your being here. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday or Saturday, Greg. I hope that the procedure is a easy one and that there are skillful hands in the process. Skillful hands. Be well, everyone. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, it looks like I chimed back in just to say goodbye. I hope your mom has a beautiful birthday. Please give her a hug for me. Take care and thank you.